What is your American dream?
My American dream is just to be really happy and achieve whatever it is I've set out to achieve. I had a dream of coming to New York and I'm here now, and for me it's just achieving those dreams and having this sense of freedom and happiness that I did this.
My American dream is connecting with my family and my friends and just being a part of that and enjoying every moment as it comes.
This is my dream. I'm a happy woman in America, in New York. So, vive l'Amérique!
My American dream, personally, to continue doing what I'm doing for as long as I want to, as long as possible, in a way that I feel liberated and where I bring joy to other people.
My American dream, we just want to go out, keep that German work ethic, do as best as we can, contribute to society as much as possible, and pass that on to our kids.
I'm living it. I'm very blessed to be doing what I do. I'm a singer. I have my own record. I have my music out. I feel very blessed to be here on the East River playing with this great band and living my dream.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam! Okay, Year of the Pig. All right, I could be down with that. It's very similar to hog, as in groundhog. Get it? Ha 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 ha! Oh, hello everybody! Well, did you miss yesterday's episode of Brad Show Live? In case you did, you missed me and Brad going to celebrate Groundhog Day on Saturday, February 2nd at the Staten Island Zoo with Groundhog Chuck. This is the most exciting holiday of the year for us groundhogs, and it's very exciting for humans as well, because if we don't see our shadows, then spring is around the corner, and that's what we all predicted. Yep, Chuck and Phil and me, all the groundhogs said, spring is around the corner, woohoo! But today is another huge holiday. It's the Chinese New Year. It's the Chinese Lunar Year of the Pig. And as I just said, I can kind of get down with that because a pig is kind of close to a hog, which means it's close to what I am, a groundhog. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, the Year of the Pig is truly a very good year. It represents a year of balance and a good year to invest and make money. So all of you out there, Brad Squad, start your hustle. I know you're already hustling, but this is the year to really hustle. Oh, I'm going to have to invest some of my pretzels. Well, happy Chinese New Year, Brad Squad. Last year I had a blast going with the team to the Chinese New Year parade, and hopefully we're going to go this year too. The memories, and I made friends with some little kids. I had a blast. I always have a blast. I have fun wherever I go. Why? Because I'm a groundhog. Groundhogs have fun. Anyway, now's the time you've all been waiting for. It's time for Brad Show Live, starring Brad Bernstein with co-hosts Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias. Enjoy and happy Chinese New Year. Woohoo!
Hello, everybody. It is
The 5th.
the 5th of February. I knew it. It says it right here on the cards. And it is a Tuesday. Alrighty then. This is how I like to start off the show. It all starts very good now. Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, Belgium Kim.
Hey.
I think Belgium Kim's a little under the weather.
I'm not. I couldn't properly swallow water.
I don't
know.
know.
If that's
You were
necessarily
like cough towards Jonathan's side
I
while I say hello to Kennedy Roy, Tamika Nelson, Dionne Watson, And Tamika Nelson, Lisa, with a little lovey emoji.
That's right.
That's very nice. Rich Kid C. And Lisa Bling Rose saying hello, family. Kimmy, Kim, Yo-Yo, Sam, Yo-Yo, Sam. Squat up.
That's right.
And, of course, Tamika back with Glamour!
Hey.
Wow, Tamika's in a good mood today, that's for sure.
Good.
Carol Aris, Hope Burrell, how you doing? Rich Kid C. And Christy Kinsali. Who else we have here? Deanna Moore, how are you? Dawn Harriet, Lisa Bling Rose, Asset Lindo, Carol Anderson, the Tiger. Seems we say hello to the same people every day, which I really like.
Tams Oxley Parker is new, I think.
Yes?
Hey.
Right?
Jessica Kalimi Joelli's not new, that's for sure.
Not new, definitely.
Right, and I see Tans Oxley Parker. It says, hi, Brad.
Yeah.
All
What's
right,
up,
hello,
Tams?
Tans. Nice to see you as well. Wendy Brown says, love you guys. Kiss. Thank you, Wendy.
Oh, I thought that was like a direction.
What?
I understood you were speaking emoji.
Yes.
Love you guys.
Kiss.
Kissy face.
Kissy face.
There it is.
Sorry.
Oh, I like what Rich Kid C says in the house.
And Tamika Nelson goes, LOL, emoji laughing, Brad. Emoji laugh heart. And with that, on YouTube, we have Jalov, Emmanuel Osi Owusu, Mariana Silla, Avzale says, squad up to this wonderful day. Carol Anderson, the Tigress 2 Anderson, Marcine Frazier, and BK Ricky in the house. Ruthie Cutie, haven't seen her in a while, Ruthie. Has she been around?
She yo-yos between Facebook and YouTube.
Oh, because I've not
Yo-yos.
seen her on YouTube in a while. I've not seen that name. Bevan Smith. I haven't seen Bevan Smith either.
Oh, yeah, I don't think he's been around for a
Yeah,
little bit.
Bevan, where you been? Ken Kibbett. Counting down to the best night show. Squad up, highly recommend, and rep the Brad show.
Hey.
Ken.
I like that, Ken.
Have we seen Ken before?
Ken is a brand new hard question asker, Brad.
We like that.
Yeah. What is it with your collar?
I don't know.
It's like I don't know how your collar is supposed, like in a perfect world, how is your collar?
Not like this. Not like this. Simone Garraway, how are you? And Princess Black, Roseanne Del Coley. She knew, Roseanne.
Roseanne.
Says, I have a question.
I think she
I got an
is.
answer for you, Roseanne. Hang in there. And you can either call 1-800-529-5465 or you can leave your question on YouTube or Facebook, and Jonathan and Belgium Kim will ask the question of me later. Either way, I can speak to you or you can leave the question. Either way. And Fred O.C. had something very important to say and then retracted the message. I always wonder what, because I don't read it right away. What did Fred say that he was like so embarrassed that...
I didn't even see it either because I couldn't.
You didn't catch it fast
All right,
enough.
well, we got a lot to do today. Before we get into schmoozing, I have a whole bunch of news here. We got some hard news, got some soft news, got some funny news, got all sorts of news.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pick and choose which news to talk about.
Both the hard and soft.
Both the hard and soft. It's like hard and soft cheese.
That's beautiful.
Right?
Do you have a preference?
I like soft cheese.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a soft
Like
cheese.
brie?
Like brie, I like it. Anything spreadable.
Good call.
I was with somebody the other day. They said they don't like cheese. I said, never heard of such a thing.
I know someone who
doesn't like
despises
cheese?
cheese.
Someone who works on this show doesn't like cheese.
That's the same person I was with. That is the same. You're calling her out now.
Do not. Don't trust anyone who doesn't like cheese.
I trust her though.
I love her so much.
All right, so tell everybody what they get for sharing, which is just a really hearty thank you. And you also get the opportunity to help your friends get their immigration issues resolved, or help your friends who are bored at home for the next 2 hours with nothing to do, have a little fun and entertainment, and catch up with you guys. Jonathan Yo-Yo alias Belgium Kim, tell everybody what they get. They get that they're spreading good vibes around the world.
Yeah.
That's what they get.
That's right. You get your Good Samaritan badge for the day by spreading the word of what Brad Show Live is and where people can watch it when we're live, which is right now, folks. And Yo-Yo is going to tell you exactly how to share.
All you have to do is press that little arrow that says share. Share it to people's pages, their inboxes. You could also copy the link, just like you can copy the link on YouTube, and send it in a WhatsApp blast, email blast, whatever you want. Just make sure you send it out, man. Yeah.
And just spread the good vibes.
Yeah.
It's all about positive energy.
Always the vibes.
It's always about positive energy. You know, you see the positive energy that comes in when we come on, and everyone's like, Tamika's like, Glamour!
Right.
And Lisa! And everyone's saying hi and squat up. It's all good vibes. We like it.
Yeah.
Spread
We
the
love
good
that.
vibes. Spread it around. And while you're spreading around, we're going to schmooze a little bit.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got my hard news here in my hand right now.
Is it pretty hard?
It's very hard. Right now, I want you. It's not even Hump Day Wednesday.
It's Hump Day Eve.
You have such dirty minds,
Hump
the two of
Day
you.
Eve.
What?
The two of you have such dirty minds.
Oh.
Meanwhile, the Census Bureau is estimating and projecting that by the year 2060,
Yeah.
then I will be in 2060. I will be 92 years old.
The cool, young, hip age of 92.
Okay, that is around the time my grandfather retired. He retired at 92.
Oh, wow.
Really?
So this will be right around my retirement.
Are you going to retire at 92?
92, I will retire.
Bradshaw Life finale party.
Yeah, Bradshaw Life finale party.
Lord.
92-year-old Brad.
I'll have to stop every 30 minutes for Tamika to change my diapers.
You think you're going to be able to twerk at that party like you do at our regular parties?
I don't think so. So any event, the Census Bureau in 2060, which will be the year that I retire.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I bring this up, because I saw it. And it's 2060, that's my retirement year. So that's in, what is that? That's in 42 years from now.
42 years.
42 more years from now, my retirement.
Right.
The Census Bureau is projecting that there will be 75 million more immigrants.
Wow.
In the United States than today, and it will fuel 95% of the future United States growth. Which goes to show that immigration law is a pretty good business to be in, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. The new analysis of the figures by the Center for Immigration Studies shows that of the 79 million more people who will be living in the United States in 2060, 75 million will be legal and illegal immigrants and their families, a population the size of Belgium and France combined.
Oh.
Without immigration, the U.S. population would increase by just 3.7 million people. And you want to know what that would do?
What?
All those Trump people
Yeah.
who are voting for Trump, kick out the immigrants.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They will be very sad when their Social Security is not paid to them.
Yeah.
Because if we have a population growth of only 3.7 million people, the Social Security will go bankrupt.
Oh, wow, that's
It
a
will
great point.
It will only actually be able to be solvent if the population increases and the numbers of young workers increase.
Oh, wow.
Otherwise, all you Trump voters, get ready in 10, 15 years from now with no immigrants to not collect Social Security.
Yep.
Because that is what will happen. Now, almost of the 75 million people that the immigration study says of the post-2017 increase is due to future immigration.
Oh, right.
That is immigrants who have not yet arrived yet, but who will do so absent a change in the Orange Man's policy. Plus their descendants.
Wow.
Plus their descendants.
Obviously.
So that's assuming, what they're assuming is that the immigration levels will remain the same. Mm-hmm. That they don't go up or down, that they remain exactly the same.
Wow.
Now, if the immigration doesn't happen, I will not be the only one working at 92.
Right.
Everybody will be working at 92 because nobody will be able to retire because there will be no Social Security
That's a
to
great
collect.
point. Wow.
I think it's an excellent point.
Well done, Brad.
Thank you very much. And I got the hard news here, Belgium.
Yeah.
You can tell it's a hard news.
It is a hard news day. Meanwhile, in Trump land, because we got to always talk about that orange dude.
Always.
Okay, we still haven't figured out how he tans, but the consensus generally is that it's self-tanning.
Self-tan.
Absolutely.
Self-tanning.
It's not good genes.
Not good genes. No, because if you look at his pictures from
Right.
30
He
years
was
ago,
pale.
he's pale. He's pale. He's as pale as Kim.
That's true. He's a
Right.
pasty.
You know what we
White
should do,
human.
Kim? You know what we should do, Kim?
my
Tell me,
Can
not
we
self-tan me.
can we run a self-tanning test on you? Because you
No, we
seem to
cannot.
have similar skin to Donald Trump. You both come from you both come from the same area. He's from German descent. You're Belgium descent. You're both from that northern European. Let's get some self-tanning going on Belgium Kim and see if she can match Trump in 28 days.
So, Brad, this is going to be either a hard no or a renegotiation of my salary. Because that is some tomfoolery I'm going to be putting myself
Well, I
through.
don't know what he's going to do in jail, Donald Trump, about his self-tanning.
Ooh, that'll be really
Because
interesting.
federal prosecutors in New York have subpoenaed documents from his inaugural committee furthering a federal inquiry into a fund that has faced mounting scrutiny on how they spent their money and, more importantly, how they received their money. There was over $158 million given to the Trump inaugural campaign. A lot of it, nobody knows what happened to it.
Right.
We don't know whose pockets it went into,
Yep.
but it didn't go into $158 million worth of parties and cake and balloons. Okay, that's a lot of cake and balloons to celebrate an inauguration over a weekend.
Absolutely.
$158 million.
That's a tremendous amount.
And the investigation is looking into a series of criminal inquiries. It is not Mueller who's doing it. It is the Brooklyn U.S. Attorney's Office, the Eastern District. And the Wall Street Journal is citing a copy of a subpoena, reported that the prosecutors asked for all documents related to the committee's donors and vendors, as well as records relating to benefits donors received after making contributions. They are looking at, it is illegal, it is a crime to receive a donation from a foreign entity, a foreign company, or a foreign individual in furtherance of not only the campaign, which is what Mueller's looking into, the Russian influence, but also your inauguration activities as well. And apparently, for example, the people from Saudi Arabia bought out the entire Trump International Hotel for inauguration weekend.
Which surely has to be campaign finance violation.
Yes. The New York Times reported last year that the federal prosecutors are examining whether anyone from Qatar, Saudi Arabia, or other Middle Eastern countries made illegal contributions. Meanwhile, the scandal in Virginia grows and grows and grows, Jonathan. You know about this scandal?
No.
You should know about it. The governor of Virginia, Ralph Northam, his medical yearbook. He went to medical school, and in 1984, in his medical yearbook, there was a picture of him allegedly in blackface.
Oh, no.
You saw this.
I have seen.
Okay, right, in blackface. Jonathan, look at this.
This is just
Okay, this is the governor.
Who is that?
This is the governor. All right, you have to follow the news, Jonathan. Okay, this is the governor's page of his yearbook from graduating medical school in 1984. And apparently, that is him either in the Grand Wizard David Duke uniform or in the 1920s blackface movie, black guy conductor on the train uniform.
Come on.
Wow.
Okay, this is 1984.
My year. That was the
Okay,
year I was born.
I want you to know something. I was in a yearbook in 1984. I was in high school. There was nobody in my high school that I could think of that would ever think in 1984 that was proper to do.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Okay, not in 1984. Not even in 1960. Not never. But certainly not in 1984.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay, not in 1984.
you're
There is no excuse for that. Everybody knew.
Right.
There's not a human being who knows that was a proper thing to do.
Obviously.
Right.
Okay? That's how bad a terrible person this man is. I mean, can you think of how worse of a human being that is? That in 1984 he had the gall and the racism in his body to be able to do that?
Yeah. It's sick.
He's just it's
And
so
by the
disgusting.
way, Jonathan, you know who the KKK hates as much as blacks? Jews. Yeah, I mean that guy in the gray. He hates me just as much as he hates you.
Right.
Okay,
We're on the same boat.
We're in the same boat. All right, I don't know who gets the bullet first from this guy. So
I'm just in the
And
kitchen making
what has
pancakes.
he said about it?
Well, he came out and he originally apologized and said it was in very bad taste on Friday.
You think?
And then on Saturday, he came out and he thinks we're a bunch of fools. And he said, nope, it wasn't me. I have no idea how that got in the
Okay.
yearbook.
Right.
He changed his story in 24 hours, this guy.
But then he was like, but I have done blackface this one time for a Michael Jackson dance competition, but it wasn't that one.
But it wasn't that blackface there.
Yeah, that's a whole different type of
Literally.
blackface. That's
And
not no Michael Jackson
meanwhile, this guy
blackface.
is a Democrat. Nancy Pelosi and all the major Democrats have asked for his resignation.
Right.
The vice governor or the lieutenant governor is a gentleman by the name of Justin Fairfax. He wants to replace Ralph Northam, but Ralph refuses to step aside.
Yeah.
And now he's claiming and that's Justin Fairfax. Now Ralph says that Justin Fairfax set this whole thing up.
Oh.
He's the one who painted his face?
He's the one who set this whole thing up. And I don't, all I can tell you is that is in fact the governor's yearbook. That is his page. He should step down.
Absolutely.
Period. End of story.
Done.
Period, point blank.
Yep.
There's a little more to the story, apparently.
Is there?
It-
You look like you're getting divine intervention.
Okay, I'm just listening to the story now in my ear. More has come out today that I didn't know about. You wonder why? Because I'm a lawyer during the day. All right, so now more has come out. Okay, Fairfax, the lieutenant governor, has now been accused of sexual misconduct.
Right.
And Lieutenant Governor Fairfax emphatically denied a woman's claim that he had sexually assaulted her in 2004 and indicated that Northam's allies were plotting against him to keep him from assuming the governor post if Northam were to resign.
This is some House of Cards stuff
Right.
right
Speaking
here.
to reporters outside the Capitol on Monday evening, Fairfax adjusted his stance slightly, saying he had no indication that Northam himself was behind the publication of the sexual assault allegations, but still decrying the sneaky tactics.
Messy.
So
Messy.
this is where we're at in Virginia, which, by the way, has a long history of racism.
Absolutely.
This is
Still
not
does.
this is not a state where a northern state that has every state has racism.
Right.
Or even the northern states, and even every person at some point, black, white, yellow, has had a racist tendency.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, it's just human nature.
Yes.
It's about acting on it. It's about saying things. It's about doing things. It's about respecting your fellow man, your friend, your neighbor.
Absolutely.
You just don't do these things in 2019. You don't do these things in 1984.
Absolutely.
Right.
And for Democrats have had the moral high ground since Trump has become president. If they want to keep that moral high ground,
Yeah.
he's got to go. He's got to go.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I had if you remember, I had interviewed Corey Johnson, who may very well be the next mayor of the city of New York.
Yes.
And he had told me during his interview, because I wasn't even aware of this, that he was down. We saw him Saturday morning at Groundhog's Day. That he was spent the night. His eyes were a little red and bloodshot. He had spent the night protesting in the federal detention center in Brooklyn because the inmates at the federal detention center had no heat during the polar vortex. During the coldest week on record in most of the Northeast and most of the Midwest, in Brooklyn, people in jail had no heat. And protesters were gathered out, including who very well may be the next mayor of the city of New York. Outdoor temperatures were well below freezing.
Oh my God.
And finally, on Sunday, the power was restored, and the inmates now have some heat. But people could have died in there.
Yeah.
Got
it was
obviously,
sad.
I bet you a lot of people got sick.
Absolutely.
I bet
How
you a lot
is
of
it
people got
not
sick.
cruel and unusual punishment?
That is cruel and unusual punishment.
Right.
I know a girl that was on Love and Hip Hop, Yandy, who was leading one of the protests, and she got maced, and there's like videos all over the internet from that.
Now this is not. I didn't see that. Now this is not the state of New York. This is the federal government. So you can't blame the governor, and you can't blame the mayor. This is a federal detention facility.
Wow.
You could only blame Donald Trump and the Bureau of Federal Prisons. On Sunday morning, Governor Cuomo had generators, blankets, and hand warmers delivered to the prison on behalf of the state of New York. Governor Cuomo also called for an investigation of the circumstances of the loss of heat and electricity by the Federal Department of Justice, tweeting that I just delivered generators, blankets, and hand warmers to the Metropolitan Detention Center. The people inside have a right to dignity and safety, and we won't stand by while the Federal Bureau of Prisons fails them. New York City stands ready to help.
Wow.
Wow.
In other news,
Yeah.
12% of Americans said they never heard of Vice President, what's his name? Mike Pence. I know it. It's a good joke, though, right?
That was good.
Yeah, 10 million Americans have no idea who their country's vice president is.
That's
CNN
crazy.
poll suggested. The poll, which surveyed 1,011 people from January 30th to February 2nd, found that 12% of Americans had never heard of Vice President Mike Pence. The same 1,011 people never heard of Brad Bernstein either.
You have the same notoriety level as Mike Pence.
No, I have a lower one. At least 12% knew who Mike Pence was. All right. Let's see what else we got here. It's Chinese New Year as our
Groundhog
Sam, as our resident groundhog.
Yep.
I was going to call him Chuck for a second, or Punxsutawney Phil.
The humanity.
You know, I called him. He called me on Sunday, Sam, and I said, "What's up, Phil?" And he got so insulted, he hugged the phone up on me.
That's
He
so
hung up on
shady.
you.
He's
Hugged
right
the phone up on
to.
me.
He's
said,
right
Why
to.
would you do
He said,
that to
"Don't
him?"
call me Phil." Click.
It's the same thing when you get called Bradley.
Correct.
You would have hung up on Groundhog Sam too.
Correct. So meanwhile, Tuesday marks, that's today,
Yeah, that is today.
the Lunar New Year and the start of the Year of the Pig. Millions of Chinese people have rung in the New Year. Celebrations are going on all over. Many of the celebrations involve pigs, pig balloons,
Yes.
pig sculptures,
Yes.
pig murals,
Oh, the pig.
and even more pigs.
Ugh.
The pig is a symbol of optimism. Wow. Maybe we should have got a groundhog. Maybe we should have got a pig Sam
A pig Sam?
instead of groundhog Sam.
Well,
but that doesn't really
what?
roll off the tongue as well. Pig
No.
Sam.
Yeah, and also there's a Groundhog Day. There's not a pig
There's
day.
no pig day.
No,
Yeah,
right.
And you don't eat groundhog, but you eat pig.
Yeah, and he'd have to switch up every year for Chinese New Year.
Yes. You're like, as soon as it's the year of the pig, the pig would be like, "This ain't my year."
Yeah, what happens when it's the year of the rat?
Yeah, well, you know what? It's not his year if it's the year of the pig, because they're like cooking pigs. It's believed to be the symbol of optimism, enthusiasm, and hard work. And it's customary for returning Chinese migrants to hand out cash in red envelopes to family members to celebrate the new year. Don't you wish you were a family member of a Chinese migrant on Chinese New Year?
Oh yeah.
You
I'm
would
sure
like to
they-
get an envelope full of cash.
Do you know what
Absolutely.
Jilly Bean said? And she's
What?
absolutely right. I want to be with the Chows right now.
Oh, that would have been fun.
I want to know where
the
what the Chows are
Chows.
doing right about
Yeah.
now. We're on our way to you down in Mississippi.
Meanwhile, one of my favorite shows, Narcos.
Yeah.
Right? You like that show, right?
You like that
like
show?
that
I love that show. Yes,
would've never guessed.
it's about Pablo Escobar, and
Yes.
Yeah.
and it goes real deep into the whole story about how the DEA went into Colombia and worked with the Colombian government to try to apprehend Pablo Escobar,
Right.
who started out as a cocaine dealer and ended up as a narco-terrorist, basically terrorizing the entire country.
Right.
So to scare the politicians, the police, and even the DEA from arresting him.
Wow. Yeah.
Now, a new burger restaurant in Australia, named after this notorious drug kingpin Pablo Escobar, has sparked outrage around the world. The Pablo Esco burgers
Oh, God.
are serving a meal topped with a line of white powder and a fake $100 bill. The powder is actually
I
sugar,
can't. I can't.
and it is named after the king of cocaine, the ruthless Colombian cartel leader.
That's hilarious.
Oh my God.
Some locals are finding this choice of theme restaurant hard to swallow.
You don't say.
But I'm bum.
like
Accusing the restaurant of making a buck off of glorifying the death of thousands and thousands of people and glorifying
Well,
a
when you say
man
it
who
like
was
that.
a drug dealer.
Right, they're kind of right. Like, he was a truly terrible person.
Now, responding to the criticism, he was a truly terrible person.
Yeah.
Responding to the criticism, Pablo Escobar's spokesperson said, this is straight from the Pablo Escobar PR department.
Obviously.
We are very proud of our Escoburgers, but we do also understand that Pablo Escobar was a horrible man who destroyed the lives of thousands of Colombians. We do not condone, idolize, or promote Pablo Emilio Escobar or his actions in any way, but our burgers are really, really good. No, they didn't say it, but our burgers are really, really good. But he says, we are, however, Australian and know how to have a laugh and a good play on words. And our burgers are really, really good.
They do look pretty good, though. A good burger.
They do, but like, we wouldn't name something a Hitler burger. We wouldn't be cool
true.
with that.
This
Why
is
are we
true.
cool with this?
This is
No.
true.
That is very, 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 very
Okay.
true, Belgium Kim. Very, very true.
Apparently, I'm captain of the
I'm
moral high
just
ground
I'm just
today.
like, I have so many good stories
You do.
here. I can't. It's already 6:15. We got to pick and choose.
Yeah.
I'll leave the fried chicken drumstick pants for another day, or should we talk about it? Are you interested in fried chicken?
Don't.
Fried chicken.
That's
what?
a twofer.
All right, I will ruffle your feathers a little bit, Jonathan.
Hey.
All right, apparently there's a must-have fashion for 2019.
Oh God.
Okay, we thought it was going to be some Bradshaw live swag, but apparently not. Apparently, the go-to fashion for 2019 is a uniquely shaped pants inspired by fried chicken. Rumored to have been invented by the designer in Kentucky, a story to which there may or not be a kernel of truth. Get it? Kernel of truth. These pants have made a huge comeback online. They're available for $6.99.
What?
The online, and they are flying off. These chicken pants are flying out of the coop like you've never seen it before.
They look ridiculous.
The online description reads,
Yeah.
the most chic chicken leg pants, very popular on Instagram. It reminds me of KFC chicken leg. You can look like carrots, crispy chips, or the back of a horse. All you can imagine. Consider to get 2 items, one for yourself and one for your loved one.
I can't.
Would you get me a 2-pack of that?
No.
If you got yourself one, I'll
Absolutely
take the other
not.
one.
I would not get myself
Rock
one
them
of
in here
those.
matching.
Yeah. And finally,
Yeah.
did you ever see that movie with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, 50 Dates?
50 First Dates, yeah.
50 First
You know
Dates.
that story?
Mhm.
Jonathan, tell the story. You remember the movie?
I don't remember the movie. I've only seen it once.
You don't remember it at all?
If you start talking about it, I'll remember it.
All right, so anyway, Adam Sandler went on a date with this woman, Drew Barrymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what the names in the movie was. And right after their first date or their second date or their third date, and they started to like love each other, whatever, she got into a very bad accident and
then
had a concussion, and she didn't remember anything.
him. Yeah.
And every day he would take her out,
Mhm.
and they would have these beautiful, wonderful dates.
And the next
and the
day-
next day she'd wake up and say, "Who are you?"
Exactly.
For
That was crazy.
For 50 straight dates.
Beautiful.
Well, this is not a joke. In Japan, there's a Japanese boyfriend is forced to make his girlfriend fall in love with him every day because she too has real life severe amnesia, just like Drew Barrymore in 50 First Dates. 24-year-old Maruyama suffers from amnesia, leaving her fiance Lee Hua constantly needing to remind her of their love.
Dang.
They have been together for 2.5 years, but when Maruyama, who is the girl, was hit by a car while riding her bike 9 months ago, their lives changed completely.
wow.
When she woke up, she didn't recognize any of the people in her life, including her parents and her boyfriend.
Wow.
After a while, Maruyama's physical injuries started to heal, but her memory did not return, and she even started to get so bad that it was all wiped clean with every passing day.
Oh my
So every day she would
God.
spend the day, and at the
Girl.
end of the day she would go to sleep and have a wonderful day with her boyfriend and be like, "Wow, I love you," and then the next day
Just like the
wake
movie.
up just like the movie. So unfortunately they were going to get married, and the man Lee Hua had to make the difficult decision to call off the couple's wedding.
Dang.
Because she couldn't remember every day
Yeah.
whether or not she loved him.
Man.
And every morning he would wake up and this is what was in the story, and he would remind her of all the proof of their relationship, the pictures.
Yeah.
But on one occasion, she suggested they break up because of the strain on their relationship. Lee, the boyfriend, the fiance, told her, "You have lost your memories, but we will make new ones." The story bears a remarkable resemblance to 51st Dates, a 2004 romantic comedy, which we talked about. Mary Yuma's doctors advised her to keep a diary to help her remember things she had done on the previous day. And after rereading how dedicated Lee had been, she proposed to him.
Oh, that's so
And she said,
cute.
"Because of my amnesia, I have the chance to fall in love with him again," she recently said on a television show. "No matter how many times I lose my memory, I believe I will always fall in love with him again." So every morning, she doesn't remember, but she keeps a diary from the night before and reminds herself that this man does all these wonderful things for her and how much she loves him, and she writes it all down. And then she wakes up in the morning and says, "I don't know who you are."
Wow.
But then she reads her diary and says, "Wow, this man must be this wonderful person."
Man.
And imagine how good you can make your relationship like that, because then you don't write down any of the bad stuff. The next morning you had a big fight, you forget all about it.
Or if you're Lee,
right?
You just
erase it.
You just rip out the page. You know, like maybe one of those days he was just in a cranky mood, and she writes down, "This guy's a jerk." And he just rips it out, and next day she's like, "Oh, I guess babe, you didn't write anything yesterday." I don't know.
I feel like some memory loss would do some relationships some good.
All right, and with that, we are going to get into our immigration questions, but I'm going to ask one more time to spread good vibes around the world. Get on your plane, get in your car, get in your stagecoach, get on your horse, get on your donkey, get on your camel. Get out, open up your window, say, "We ain't going to take it anymore. If you're not watching Bradshaw Live, you should be doing it now." Scream it out your window.
Yeah. Scream it.
Scream it.
Right now.
Right now.
We hear from the street and we don't hear anything. You need to be screaming louder, Brad Squad.
All I hear is somebody yelling in the background, "Shut up and close your window."
Let them do that. At
And
least they
spread
know
the
about
good
the
vibes.
show.
Spread the good vibes. And really the way you do it, instead of opening up your window and screaming and yelling, and instead of getting on your stagecoach or your camel or your horse or your plane or your car, all you got to do, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias and Belgium Kim, is what?
You've got to hit that little button. It says share, and there's an arrow beside it, and you're going to hit it at the top or the bottom of your screen, depending on what you're looking at. You're going to put it onto your timeline, your friends' timelines, and most definitely groups that you are a member of. And you're going to do that same thing on YouTube, but slightly different, because Yo-Yo's going to tell you how.
All you have to do, guys, all you have to do is copy the link, and then you can share it to different people's WhatsApp. You can do a whole blast. And there's also a little arrow as well where you can just send the YouTube link directly to your Facebook or your Twitter account. So you guys, please share. Just make it a great day.
And before we get into our immigration questions, I do have to remind Marge that today is Tuesday, not Wednesday, Marge. She's saying 69 shares. What a number. And with that, let's get into our immigration questions right now. Melissa's been waiting on hold for over 40 minutes. I think it's time we answer her question. Melissa, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. My question is, if someone files for bankruptcy, can they still file a petition for a spouse to migrate?
Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, filing for bankruptcy does not come into play at all on any affidavit of support. So there's nothing in the affidavit of support that says, have you ever filed for bankruptcy or anything of that nature. Your credit report's not coming up on an affidavit of support. All the government's looking at is, what are your last 3 years' tax returns? Do you have a job letter?
Oh, okay.
So it's perfect. Okay?
Okay, great. Well, that's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Cheers.
Bye.
Okay. Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Let's go to Maniver in Queens. Maniver.
Hi, Ben. How are you
Hi,
doing?
how are you?
Yes. Actually, I had my I-360 and I-485 pending from 2016. So under the SIJ category.
Under the what category?
SIJ, Special Immigrant Juvenile.
Okay. And you got, and all right, so let me start. Okay. So you're special juvenile immigrant. What year did you get? How old were you when you got the guardianship and the special rule that says you shouldn't be returned to your parents? How old were you?
I was under 21. I was under 21.
Were you under 18?
Under 21.
But you're not, but not under 18. But not, you were 20.
Not under.
Okay.
Yes.
And what year did this happen?
It happens in 2016. I got approved from family court in 2016.
And you filed an adjustment application?
Yes.
Okay. And this has been, did you get denied, I assume, right?
No, not yet. So
Okay.
I didn't hear anything from the immigration last year, 2017. Not 2017, 2018. Yeah, 2017 in February, I got my interview. So I got interview in February. After 6 months, I got additional documents they need. My father was deceased. So they need the death certificate of my father. Then I sent them. And after that, I didn't hear anything. So I applied for my work permit. So this is going to be my fourth work permit.
All right. So this is what I think. Okay. For all of those people who did the special immigrant juveniles between the ages of 18 and 21, the Immigration Service is denying those cases. Now, what has happened is that the Ninth Circuit has come out with a decision that said that if you did a special immigrant juvenile between 18 and 21, you should be approved. And the reason is immigration is looking at something very technical. Certainly in the state of New York, they're saying that you've reached the age of adulthood, so therefore you're not a juvenile anymore. But under the immigration law, you're a child as long as you're under 21 years old, and as long as you are still under the roof and the care of a guardian, and you're going to school, and then you haven't reached the age of majority until 21. And those are the arguments that go back and forth. And up until Donald Trump, since the special immigrant juvenile cases have been going on since the 1990s, it's always been as long as you got the guardianship before 21 and filed the adjustment before 21, you're going to get approved. It's only under Donald Trump now that they're rolling back, trying to get to approve as little applications as possible. So now basically your case is going to be kind of in this never land. So you have two choices. You can wait for all these cases to go through the court system and see what happens, and meanwhile your case will still be pending. Or you can come see us, and we can file what's called a mandamus action, which is to force the government to make a decision on your case. And the decision that we would force them to do is that under the Ninth Circuit, they are supposed to adjudicate all of these cases nationally based on the old laws, not what Donald Trump thinks the new laws are. But that's up to you if you want to push the envelope and do that. I would do it, but other people may not want to.
Okay, so I had another question. So can I file for like an I-31, the application for the travel, permission to travel into this category, or no?
Yes, you can, as long as you have a pending adjustment.
Okay, so I can file for I-31.
Correct.
Alrighty. Okay, thanks, Brad. So I'll make an appointment. I'll try to come and see you. Thank you. Thanks for the help.
You're very welcome. Hold on. Let's go to Marlene in Queens. Marlene.
Hey, Brad.
Hi,
How
Marlene.
are you?
What's going on?
Hey. Quick question for you. I have filed for my 10-year green card. However, I got the 18-month extension, but I want to find out, could I file my tax separate, or I would have to file with my husband?
File joint tax returns with your husband while this entire case is going through. Anything you do otherwise may cause you to be denied, because you have to show that you're in a bona fide relationship with your husband. And the best way to show you're in a bona fide relationship with your husband is that you have a joint economic relationship. And the best way to show a joint economic relationship is, here's my joint tax return.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Even though I have the 18-month extension.
Correct.
I mean,
yes, because they haven't approved you yet. You still have to prove it's a bona fide marriage, assuming it is.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate it.
Right.
Thank you.
Let's go to Connie in Fairfax, Virginia. Connie.
Hey, Brad. Hey, Kim. Hey, Jonah.
Hello.
So my question is, regarding the work permit. Last year, I adjusted my my status with my husband, and in May. So I got approved for my work permit in September. I never got it, but I got my my Social Security. I never got the work permit.
Right.
And then we went for the interview in November.
Wait, you got a Social Security card in the mail, but you never got your work permit?
Yeah.
Did you
I
call
never
up?
got
Did you
my-
call up the immigration service? It was probably mailed to the wrong address.
I did. I did try to call them. They keep telling me 30 days, 90 days, 120. I exceeded all those, and I sent them a form on Emmer. I filled up a form that I'm requesting the document because I never received it. So I don't know what to do. Should I get a lawyer or should I still wait?
Get a lawyer. Hold on one second. Get a lawyer. It sounds like you need a lawyer. Belgium Kim, we don't have a lot of questions today.
That's shocking.
Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias.
Guys,
Are you shocked about that?
I am actually.
What's
There's no other immigration questions to ask right now.
What?
None.
I think it's because you guys aren't really sharing.
Maybe.
If you guys share, then more people are going to find out about the show.
Maybe.
That's a stone cold fact.
Maybe. In the meantime, Jessica from Hartford, Connecticut just called. Jessica.
Hi, Brad.
How are you? You're lucky, Jessica. It's a low volume call day. It doesn't happen often. You got right on.
I'm not better than you are, but we'll see.
What's going on?
Brad, so I have my citizenship coming up. However, I am worried. I have a disposition here. I was arrested, and I'm scared. Bear with me for a little bit and don't boot me off the phone.
I won't boot you off the phone, but
I want to use your services, but I need to be confident before I move forward with you.
All right. Let me ask you a couple questions. You have a green card now, right?
I do.
Okay. When did you get your green card?
Maybe 7 years ago.
How'd you get your green card? Who sponsored you?
I am still married, and I'm still in my marriage, and it's my husband.
And did you come from another country with your green card, or you were here already and adjusted your status?
My husband and I got married in Jamaica, and I moved here like 8 years ago.
And then you came on a visitor's visa and adjusted, or you moved here with
No.
the immigrant visa?
We got married. I waited
and then he
for
filed
the
for you.
application
Okay,
to
fine.
go through.
Perfect.
And
So you came here around 2010?
Yes.
Okay. And now, when did you get arrested?
In 2012.
For what?
Fighting.
Who were you fighting?
I had to kick somebody's butt.
You had to kick
Excuse
some
my
butt.
French.
Okay. And what happened? You kicked butt and got arrested, right?
Yeah. Yes, and
Okay.
I regret it because it's it's in the way now.
And this was in Connecticut.
2012.
This was in Connecticut. This happened.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was the end result of your immigration case? I mean,
Well, the
not your
charges
immigration
were
case,
dismissed.
your criminal case. Excuse me.
All the charges were dismissed.
Good.
And I have no criminal record.
Okay.
I did go out of the country several times after that, and I was dragged into the immigration room or
They call
whatever.
it the bad,
but that's
they
all
call
that
it the
happened.
bad boy room, but for you, it's the bad girl room.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I it's so upsetting to me because I feel like they're treating me like a criminal, and it was just a fight.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
But
the charges were
what
dropped
They explained to
ultimately.
me, right? What they explained to me is that it'll never go away until I become a citizen. So every time I go through the airport, they're basically going to pull me through in that room.
Do you travel with your disposition?
I do.
And you show it to them, and they still bring you into the next room?
All the time.
Okay. So you're entitled to become a citizen, and I think you should.
Yes. But here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I have the charges were breach of peace, even though it happened in my own house. Breach of peace, assault.
But the charges were all dropped.
Everything was dismissed.
So then you're
I don't know
fine.
what
And
the
this all
difference
happened. And this
between
happened.
dropped and
Dismissed and dropped is the same thing. And and this happened in 2012. So you have 5 years good moral character, and you're entitled to
I
become
haven't been
a citizen.
arrested once since.
Good. You should never be arrested again in your life. And
I don't want to.
No, don't. It's
Especially
not
under
pleasant.
Donnie.
No, it's not pleasant. And so you can become a citizen. You're all good to
But
go.
my thing is, Brad, one of the charges bothers me because I did call an immigration lawyer before, and he just kind of like, oh, we can't do nothing for you. You will be deported.
What were the
I'm
charge?
like, wait, what?
What was the charge?
Well, one of the charges were risk of injury to a minor because there was kids when the fight happened.
But the charge was ultimately dropped.
Yes.
Then you don't have
Everything was
anything. Then you have nothing to worry about.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
they can only deport you for convictions, not for allegations.
Okay.
The only time you can be deported for allegation and not conviction, and not a conviction, is for drug abuse. Not drug abuse, drug sales, conspiracy to drug sale.
But Brad, I thought that state, even though sometimes the state finds you not, it's
only
the charges drop, the charges or whatever.
Only for sale of drugs that matters for deportation.
Immigration is different.
Right, but for immigration, the only thing, criminal activity that they can allege against you when you do not have a crime is sale of drugs. They can say that you are a past, present, or prospective future drug dealer. We are going to deport you, and they don't need a conviction to do that. They need to be able to present evidence that you are doing this despite the conviction. Any other charges, murder, robbery, assault, fraud, if the charge is dropped and dismissed, it is not a conviction. They cannot deport you for it.
Okay. Well, do you think that they might try to say, because of the charges, some good moral character or whatever?
That's a different story. I was about to say. Now, for citizenship, you need 5 years good moral character. As long as there is nothing in the last 5 years that has any relationship to you having a fight or assaulting anybody in your records or in your life, they can't look past the 5 years. You can only pierce that 5 years, pierce that veil and go more than 5 years if there is a relationship between something you've done in these 5 years to something you did more than 5 years ago. So, for example, if you got into another fight and you had to kick butt again, and as part of kicking butt, they charge you with endangering the welfare of a child, and now this happened last year and it happened 8 years ago, the government can say, you don't have good moral character, you keep getting arrested for the same thing. Okay?
Okay, well, nothing has happened. Nothing at all.
Then you're okay.
Okay, but one thing, I did get a order during the same time to stay away from the person who I had the fight with, and I had to wait like an extra 2 years. So I've actually been waiting 7 years.
When did the order go off? When did the order end up?
I looked at the disposition and it was on there. So the 10th of this month, February, would be up. That extra 2 years to stay away from the victim for 2 years.
So it just is up now. We're in 2019. I thought this happened in 2012.
Yes, this happened in 2012.
So how did you have a order of protection for 7 years?
Well, I'm counting it as the 5 years for good moral character.
No. When did you get the order of protection? It was 2012.
It was the same time.
Oh, I understand. Okay, all right. So I understand your math now. You had an order of protection in 2012. It came off in 2014. You're now in 2019, 5 years later.
Right.
Okay. Yes. When you have an order of protection, by law, you cannot prove good moral character. So you have to wait 5 years from that time that order of protection is over, which is now 2019. You should be okay. I would even say if you're married,
it's been 7 years actually.
I would even say if you're married to a U.S. citizen, you got bad advice from whatever lawyer you spoke to, because married to a U.S. citizen, you only need to prove in a bona fide marriage 3 years good moral character.
Really?
Yep. So you could have done this a while back.
Brad, I don't know how many people call you and tell you, "Oh, Brad, I love you." I know Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and if my husband hear me say this, he'll probably find you and try to kill you.
No, yeah, I mean, you're a family of butt kickers. I don't want any angry husband coming down to see me. but yeah, you can. You can
I
do it now.
love you.
Thank you.
It's crazy because you have all these lawyers out here who just they really don't know. You don't know, and just be giving people bad advice.
It's unfortunate. There's a lot of bad lawyers out there. There's good lawyers too. I don't want to say every lawyer's bad. There's good lawyers too, but there's a lot of bad lawyers out there as well.
Oh my God. So I want to recruit your service.
Okay.
I'm really, based on everything that I've been listening to, I'm really comfortable with
Thank you, Jessica.
But I know you said you have a office in
We do,
Hartford,
right on Congress Street.
But do you
I am there.
take
I am
cases
there
from
on. Yeah, I'm there on occasion. I have another lawyer there who's there all the time.
Do you trust that lawyer?
I trust her 100%. She's amazing.
To her, okay.
Okay. I trust her
so
with
when
my
are you
life.
going to
She
be
runs
there?
my
'Cause
office there.
When can I meet you? When
You
can
can
I?
meet me.
When can I set up? Since I'm ready to go. I'm all
okay.
set.
We can have a phone. I don't know. What,
I like that.
Who's got my calendar? What am I going to be
Wrap
there?
this up. You got a consult to do, Brad.
I'm leaving now. Goodbye, everybody. I'll see you in Hartford in 2 hours. I don't know when I'm going to be there off the top of my head, but we could definitely do a phone consultation first if you want to, or you can come to New York. But I should be up in Connecticut in the next couple weeks.
In 2 weeks?
I think so. Yeah. Hold on 1 second, okay?
Okay.
All right. And Jessica, we're gonna if you want to only see me in Hartford, we're not gonna be able to make the appointment now because I don't have my schedule because they don't know it yet. But I'll schedule myself in the next 2 weeks to be there. I hope somebody heard that. Yeah. Did anybody hear that?
I heard that.
I heard that.
Anybody else?
Well, the world.
But I don't know. I don't know if the powers that be heard it.
All right. I heard Groundhog Sam goes, I'll tell him.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord. What?
I wonder if Groundhog Sam ever answers the phone.
I don't know. Can you imagine? Hello, this is Spar Bernstein. My name is Groundhog Sam.
I don't think those are clients you book.
Can you imagine? They'd be like, what kind of law office has a rabbit answering a telephone?
Wait, everybody on Facebook is going crazy over Jessica. Everybody loves Jessica. Hey, Jessica, we love you more. Jessica, the butt kicker.
Jessica, we like you.
Everybody loves Jessica.
We love Jessica. Welcome to the fam.
This is the first time somebody actually got that much response from,
That's true.
from the squad. Like
Yeah.
they really like you, Jessica.
They love Jessica.
Yeah, I like you too. You
I'm
could be
making
my-
a special
my
trip to
security.
Hartford in the next 2 hours to meet her.
Jessica could be my security guard.
100%.
You think that, what?
Jessica could be my security guard.
Oh, damn right.
She said,
Damn right.
kick some butt.
That's right.
Basically.
Pardon my French, but kick some butt.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's somebody in my house, and I just had to kick some butt.
Listen.
I like
All
it.
right. We don't condone kicking butt, by the way, Jonathan.
We don't.
We don't.
We don't. Jonathan likes to kick
It's really hard for
Jonathan
him
likes
to
kick
say.
butt, yeah. All right, let's go to Garnett in Hartford also. Garnett.
Yes, good evening, Brad.
Good evening. What's going on, Garnett?
Okay, I was married to my wife, and we get into an argument, and we get into a fight, and I was charged with assault to third degree. Now, my question is this: I'm on a court date. I'm back and forth at court. They keep putting it off. Question: can I travel between those court dates to
Do you have any other arrest record?
No.
Yes, you can travel because you don't have a final conviction.
Okay.
So you'll be fine.
So they won't. That thing. it
They can
won't come
they
up
can
with
bring
the
you into the
computer.
bad boy room, that's for sure, which is secondary inspection. But
Okay.
but they have to let you in. You don't have a conviction.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. James in Fargo, North Dakota. James,
Hi, Brad.
how you doing?
I actually have a question regarding my citation that I actually got. Last year, I was actually living in Minnesota. I got a speeding ticket by Highway Patrol, and I paid the citation, and my license got revoked because of the speed, because I was told I was going 105 in 70. And I paid the ticket and my license got revoked. So I went to the DMV office. I did all the reinstatement requirements, and I was given a temporary license without knowing that my license was being revoked. And I was given a new temporary license, and I was never told at the DMV office. So last week, I actually...
So basically you got
my car-
caught driving without a license now. Is that what you're going to tell me?
Yeah, so they actually pulled me over driving on the revoked license,
Okay.
and
So what
I
is,
have my
what is,
temporary license.
what is your immigration status, James?
F1, but it's actually like I'm currently out of status right now.
All right, so you have a problem because you're out of status and you're getting stopped by the police. I don't know anything about license revocation in North Dakota. So I have no idea whether you're driving with a good license, a bad license, a decent license, a no license. I don't have the slightest idea. I don't, because I know nothing about, I've never dealt with motor vehicles in North Dakota in my life. Now I will say, it is not a smart thing to be driving around unless you are 100% certain your driver's license is valid, especially if you are out of status, because the cops in North Dakota are going to put you in deportation. I can't help you. I cannot help you with your license issue. I can tell you that the actual conviction of unlicensed driving is not a reason to deport you, but the fact that you've overstayed on your student visa is.
But I actually married to a U.S. citizen, so I don't know if it's going to affect my adjustment of status application.
It will affect it in the sense that you can't do anything with immigration while you have a pending case. But if you are ultimately just charged with driving with a suspended license, that's not a reason to deny your green card. But what I would strongly urge you to do is let's start a process, James, before you get put in deportation in North Dakota. That's what they like to do up there.
Okay, all right.
And then, by the way, when you file your papers, you get a valid work permit, which gives you the opportunity to get a valid driver's license. So hold on one second. Let's. I don't know who this other person is. We're gonna take a guess. Is this Mercurius?
Yes, it is.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It was all through telepathy, because they didn't give me the name.
How'd you know
that? You just guessed Mercurius?
I guessed Mercurius, so I'm pretty good.
Certain you did.
I'm very good at this stuff. How are you? Where are you calling from, Mercurius?
I'm calling from Conyers, Georgia.
From Georgia. What's going on?
I have a question. If you're married for 6 years, do you have to have a joint tax return in order to get your citizenship?
If you have a green card for 6 years?
Yes.
You have a green card for 6 years?
Correct.
Okay, no, you do not need a joint tax return because you don't have to show that you're in a bona fide marriage with your spouse anymore, but you do have to file a tax return to show that you're paying your taxes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, let's go to Anne-Marie in the Bronx. Anne-Marie.
Hi.
Hello.
Good afternoon. I'd like to know if you have a work permit and waiting for the appointment for your green card. Can you file for your child that is like 14, but she's in the States out of status?
Okay. How are you getting your green card? Is it through marriage?
Yes, through marriage.
Okay, and your 14-year-old daughter, how did she enter America?
Okay, she went to visit her dad.
She came on a legal visa. She came on a legal visa.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So your husband, who is sponsoring you, can file
but not the child's father.
Not the child's father. Your husband, who is the stepfather, can file a separate adjustment application for her, just like he's filing for you. He would file a separate application for her. So you wouldn't be filing for your daughter. It would be your husband, and he would be the petitioner, and she can get her green card in under a year.
Yeah, but the child is living with her father.
Okay.
And doesn't want the child to see the mother, to see visit nor talk with the mother.
Okay. What state is the child in?
Pennsylvania.
Okay. So what you need to do is you need to go to Pennsylvania, find a family court lawyer in Pennsylvania. What is the father's status?
I think he has his citizenship.
Okay. Find a family court lawyer in Pennsylvania. Tell the family court lawyer to go into family court, and either you want visitation, you want custody, and it's going to be based on what's in the best interest of the child. Is the child better interest to be with the father or to be with you? And that's for a judge to decide. But it's not for the father to decide. And you have every right to certainly visit her and have a relationship with your child. So at the bare minimum, you will have the right to visit, and you'll have the right to have her visit you, and you have the right to have a relationship with her. And the father can't take that away from a mother. And what's in the best interest of the child, whether the child should live with the father in Pennsylvania or live with you in the Bronx, that's up to a family court judge, and you can make your best arguments.
So whichever decision the court will make, the mother will get either visitation right or the child live.
Correct. Unless you're a monster that I don't know about. You don't sound like a monster to me. All right.
No way. Okay. Another question? If the parent is like residing now in Houston, they're in Pennsylvania, the court would have to be in Pennsylvania.
The court is where the child is.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay. One more question.
Yes.
I'm not sure if they already start filing for the child. Whether or not they start filing, can the mother still file?
Yes.
If
if the father is a U.S. citizen and has done nothing about the daughter's immigration status, that's a pretty good argument to go and say he's a crappy father. That's why I wanted to come to me. Okay?
Okay.
It's a pretty good argument.
Okay. Yes, but just wondering if he already started, which I'm not sure.
Can
I still?
You don't need to. There's no reason to do that. If you already filed for her, then she'll become a citizen. You don't need to do it. But if he hasn't, then yes, you should do it.
Okay.
All right. It's just not necessary to do too. But yes, you can file for her too if you wanted to.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's go to Adam in Brooklyn. Adam.
Hey, Brad. How are you?
Good.
Hey, I have a question. Does an arrest without a conviction have any impact on green card renewal or citizenship?
Unless it's an arrest for sale of drugs, it should have no impact.
An arrest with no conviction.
An arrest with no conviction. You got arrested. There is no conviction. The charges were dropped. That is not a reason to deny the renewal of your green card. It may prevent you from becoming a citizen because it's going to be bad moral character, but you can certainly travel, renew your green card, and the only time an arrest and no conviction leads to any immigration problems as far as your green card is concerned involves sale of drugs.
Okay, so like for example, driving under influence.
Driving under the influence,
DUI.
and DUI, and the charges were dropped. You can renew your green card. You can travel. It may go against bad moral character for your citizenship, but you can certainly travel and renew your green card.
Oh, so even though it's not in the last 3 years.
Oh, if it happened, I don't know enough about your case. When did this happen?
So if, say, for example, it happened.
Don't give me an example. Tell me when it happened. Happened in 2012?
Yes.
Okay, and you've had a green card this whole time?
No, I got it later.
You got it where?
I got it later in New York. I got it later. I got it when? 2016.
Okay, so you want to become a citizen now?
No, 2017. Sorry, 2017.
So you want to become? So they already knew. They knew about this when you got your green card, right?
Yes, they knew about the arrest.
Okay, so then you can travel, you can renew your green card, and you'll be able to become a citizen 3 years from the time you got your green card, provided you're in a bona fide marriage with a U.S. citizen.
So an arrest has nothing, like, if there is no conviction, then...
If it's no conviction and they knew about it beforehand, it has no effect moving forward on you.
So it's a guaranteed yes?
Yes,
I
guarantee.
mean, if I'm...
Guarantee. Even Julian the TriCaster knows that.
Sorry, what was that? Hello?
Yes, I'm listening.
Hello?
Yes, it's 100%. You have no problem. Let me understand you, and I'm going to say it very succinctly, because you sound very nervous. You got arrested for DUI. The charges were dropped. This happened in 2012. You subsequently got your green card through a bona fide marriage to a U.S. citizen in 2016 or 2017. When you went to adjust your status, you brought in your disposition to immigration. You said, here's my arrest. It got dropped. They said, wonderful. Here's your green card. 3 years later, you can become a citizen. You can travel. You can renew your green card. The whole world is yours. Thumbs up for you.
All right, sir.
All right.
Thank you very. No,
You're
I have
very
another
welcome.
question. Sorry.
What?
Hello.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So 2015, I was arrested again, though.
Oh.
But I disclosed it.
What was that for?
That was for basically going to Walmart and opening a package.
Opening up. All right. You got hungry in Walmart aisles?
Yes.
Okay.
But
All
no,
right.
but not hungry. Like
I'm
not.
making a
It
joke.
wasn't for
Right.
food.
Okay. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
It was opening a package, a battery package,
fine.
basically a
So
Samsung phone battery
all right.
package.
So-
And I did not leave the premises. The case was dropped, though.
Fine. And this all happened before you got your green card.
Yeah, and then I went for my interview.
Adam, is there anything else you want to tell me, or are those all your arrests?
No, that's it.
That's it, for sure.
Guaranteed.
And then you went to your interview and you showed 2 dispositions.
Yes, and both
were
dismissals
dismissed.
and dispositions.
I say the same thing, and Julia the TriCaster says the same thing. Thumbs up, you're good.
And it's a guaranteed citizenship, too?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't do it again.
All right. No, never. I mean, hey,
Where you from?
I just opened the package and.
Where you from?
Sorry?
Where you from?
I'm from Sri Lanka.
Okay, stop opening packages in Walmart till you buy it. It's a good thing to do.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I learned my lesson.
All right. All right, take care.
Okay.
All right, Adam.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I thought he was walking. He was like, "Oh, I'm hungry. Let me open this beef jerky."
I have absolutely done that in a
What?
Walmart before.
And you could have got arrested for it.
Apparently.
Beef jerky sounds good too.
Yeah. Oh, I see some beef jerky here. Wow.
Yeah. You're a little thirsty. You go
Yeah.
grab the drink. You pop it open beforehand.
Annie in Dallas. Annie.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Good. What's happening?
Yeah, I have a question. I have sponsored my wife
Yes.
through. I'm a U.S. citizen.
Yes.
And we live in Dallas, and we didn't get anything yet. She got her work permit.
Yes.
I filed in last year of February 2018.
Uh-huh.
And my question is, I might move to other city, and the service center is gonna change. Does it gonna affect the case?
Yes. As soon as you move, you got to let them know that you've moved to another city, and if it's outside of the Dallas jurisdiction where you're moving. So if you're moving from like Dallas
San
to
Antonio.
Is that the same jurisdiction for the same office? I don't think so.
No, it's a different office.
Different office. I think it's a different office. So then it's going to go to that back of the line at the San Antonio office. You're going to put the case to the end of the line, unfortunately, but there's nothing you can do about it.
Okay, and one more question, because it's gonna be 2nd year anniversary, so she's gonna get a 2-year green card or 10-year green card?
10-year green card.
Oh, 10 year?
Yep.
Oh, okay, no problem.
All right.
Thank you for
You're
that.
welcome. Okay. Let's go to Audrey in East Islip, New York. Audrey.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. I am calling for my friend who is so nervous and sad. He doesn't even want to eat.
Doesn't want to eat?
Yes, he's distraught.
Oh my God, he's on like a hunger strike. I hope I can help him. What's going on?
He was turned down at his interview.
For his green card.
For his green card, yes.
Why was he turned down?
His wife, he had a girlfriend who was upset with him, and she brought the child up to America. They're from Jamaica. So when the child came up, the mother of the child didn't want the child to come.
Wait. Go to the end. He went to the interview. Why was he denied?
Because he could not. He said that his daughter has been in America, and the wife said she has not been in America before.
Okay, so they didn't believe. Either they denied him because they say there's some sort of misrepresentation, he's lying, or they didn't believe that it's a bona fide marriage, that they're in a real relationship because they were not asking, where does your daughter live? And he says she lives in Connecticut, and then the wife says she lives in Jamaica, or whatever the reason is. And then the immigration officer says, wait a second, you claim that you live in the same house and you're married, and you don't know where this man's child lives, whether it's in America or Jamaica, you guys are in a business marriage. That's probably what happened. Is that what happened?
No, it's not. The question was not where the child lives. The question was, has the child ever been to America since you're married?
All right,
the child has
okay.
been. The child has been to America.
Okay, so they basically were not answering the questions. It's the same question as have you ever met his mother? What color is the couch in the living room? They were not on the same page for whatever reason. You know, whether the girlfriend brought it up, he hid it, whatever it is, they didn't believe it was a real marriage. Now, as long as they did not accuse him of marriage fraud, and if it is in fact a real marriage, then you should try again.
But they issued him a deportation notice.
Okay. You should still try it again and file and prove it's a real marriage. And then you're going to have to do it through a deportation process. So hold on 1 second, okay? He's going to need help, okay? So hold on. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah! So you're going to say, yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
You ever say that?
Never.
I was going to say, is that a thing we say on this show?
No, we've never said that
ever.
Where'd that even come from?
I have no idea.
Yeah, boy.
But you
Yeah,
fully
boy.
expected it. You were like, I thought you were going to go, yeah, boy.
The way you said yeah, I thought it was going to be yeah, boy. I don't know why.
Never ever said that.
You've never said it? I thought you were going to say that to me.
Did you watch the Super Bowl halftime show?
Yeah, it was awful.
That's why. Big Boy?
We talked
Big
about
Boy?
that.
That's true, yeah.
Nobody even knew who Big Boy was.
Nobody knows
Did you even know who Big Boy
Nobody
was?
knows who. Huh?
Did you know who Big Boy was? He's like a famous
From
guy.
Outkast.
Of course,
He's a I didn't know who Big Boy
the
was.
half of Outkast, Andre 3000.
He's half of one of the greatest rap groups
You
of
know
all
their
time.
songs. Push that button.
Yeah,
Everybody go to the back of the bus.
I didn't know where he came from.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Woo! I am for real.
I didn't know where Big Boy came from.
Yeah, Outkast.
Brad, we're gonna have to work on this.
Smalls. Killing me.
So any event.
Ew.
Yeah, boy. It's time for social media check-in.
Our very first question is from Richie, who said, my sister was a green card holder, but she overstayed in the Philippines until her green card was expired. And it's been over 15 years now. Could she apply to be able to come back to the U.S.? And I'll bet you $5 that Brad Bernstein's going to ask me to ask that question again.
Yes, ask that again. You do it. You do it. You do it. You do it.
That's hilarious.
You do it. $5. Here you go.
What were you looking at?
I was looking at Sharon Khan. Just popped up. He says, hi, Brad. Your show is great, and you guys are funny as hell. Have you all considered auditioning for a movie? Have you ever thought about a movie, Jonathan?
I have auditioned for a movie.
And they just say you're not that funny when you audition.
Well, not like
Not
as
yet.
a comedian.
No. Or maybe reality-based television.
I am a reality
You guys
star.
would be great.
We would
We
be
would
so
have
good
a
in a
great
reality
show.
Yes.
If we had to live in one house. Oof.
But no. That's terrible.
It's a terrible show.
No, that's a terrible
That's a terrible show.
We spend like 60
That's a
hours a
terrible
week
show.
together already.
Yeah.
We don't need to live
They call it the studio. They never leave the studio ever.
No. We don't need
They
to
just
live.
go live on TV answering questions 24 hours a day until they get voted out of the studio.
It's the Truman Show.
Yes,
It's the Immigration Truman Show.
All right, ask the question again now.
So the question from Richie once again is, my sister's a green card holder, but she overstayed in the Philippines until her green card was expired. It's now been more than 15 years. Could she apply to be able to come back to the U.S.?
She could try to get a visitor's visa because she had a permanent resident card and she gave it up and lived in the Philippines for 15 years. And the best way to prove that you don't plan on overstaying your visitor's visa is say, hey, I had the opportunity to live in America and I chose not to. Can I get a visitor's visa now?
All right. Blessing on Blessing says, how long does it take to get a work permit? I filed November 20th, 2018.
It's about 5 months now.
All right.
Alam A, I'm going to try and decipher this, Brad. My friend's asking me if the petitioner on has a case of probable cause, if being a sex offender a long time ago, around 40-year-old case, what would happen with the petition he filed, and she said she is on an AWA subject to review and required for biometric. Can my friend squash that if it's true?
A 40-year-old conviction is the same as a 2-year-old conviction, which is the same as a 10-year-old conviction. It's inadmissible as inadmissible. The only good news with 40 years ago, it's very likely that there could be a waiver from 40 years ago. It wouldn't be likely for a waiver if the conviction was much earlier than 40 years ago.
All right, Kajelia McKenzie.
Kajelli.
Kajelli has.
Did she ask a question yesterday, Kajelli?
Yes, she has a couple more today.
Yes.
And she actually said, "Hope you're not tired of me, Sir B."
I love the name Kajelli.
Yeah, she called you Sir B.
Yes, I like that.
I like that.
Sir B.
Sir B.
Better than Uncle Brad.
Yes.
Yeah. I will definitely call you Sir B over Uncle Brad or Zaddy Brad.
I by the way, I like saying I have a Kajelli instead of I have a question.
Okay.
Such a weird word.
Because Kajelli has so many questions.
Sir B, I have a Kajelli.
Okay.
I have a Kajelli.
All right. Now, for the affidavit of support, do I have to separate one for my daughter as well?
Yes, separate affidavits of support for each person.
Okay. Also, since my husband is now a citizen, does our ticket come out the lottery system since we had started the I-130 last year when he was a resident?
It's not the lottery. It's the visa waiting list. Now you get to the top of the list. And you would have to file separate application for your daughter because she falls off your case once your husband becomes a citizen.
All right. And what does it mean with the 12 months short list and 24 months long list? So will the 6 months wait be applied to the 12 months and the 24 months?
She's talking about how long an adjustment takes, 12 to 24 months. No, it's from the time you file the I-45.
All right. And last, do you think I have to file the I-102?
No, you don't. As long the I-102 is for a replacement I-94. You should have a proof of your entry into America.
There you go. He's not tired of you.
No, and Kajelli says, "I respect you so much, Sir B."
Man.
Very nice. Very nice.
One of my favorite names of all time,
What?
Brad. Dimple. Dimple has a question.
Dimple.
Isn't that cute? It's like the word bubble. You can't say it without smiling.
Yes.
Dimple.
Yes.
Dimple wants to know, I'm a green card holder and I've got a tax problem, but it's not my fault.
Uh-oh.
Would I still be able to get my minor daughter here from the Philippines?
Yes. If you have a tax problem, fix your tax problem, you get your daughter here. Not a problem.
That's right.
And we have a very good tax attorney, by the way, Carmela.
Carmela.
Yes. She fixes lots of tax problems.
She does. Yes. All right. Maria Sila says, my question is, how long will it take how long will it take a green card holder to file for her kids that are under 21? Can she file for her stepchildren that are under 21 as well?
What?
How long does it take for a green card holder to file for her children that are under 21? And can she also file for her stepchildren who are under 21?
Yes, it takes about 2 to 2.5 years. You can file for your children. You can file for your stepchildren.
Belka Sem said, I want to apply for citizenship, but I've been in the U.S. since 2010, and the last 5 years I have not been in the USA for more than 5 months. Am I still able to apply for citizenship?
Even Julian the Truckcaster knows this. No, you have to be in the United States for 30 out of 60 months, and I was waiting for him to go,
Yeah, I was waiting for that too.
Yeah, he's not following along. There you go. The answer is no. You got to be in the citizenship rules are you got to be in the. Let's go do this fast because actually we're slowing down too much. Okay. Citizenship rules are you got to be in the United States for 30 out of 60 months and no trip out of the United States for more than 6 months because that breaks your citizenship.
All right. Fred says, I'm a citizen and my son is over 21, came to the country with someone's passport. How can I help him get a green card?
Your son's who's a citizen?
Fred is a citizen, and
how old is his son?
Over 21.
And he came on somebody else's name. You're going to file for him, but he's going to have a hard time because he has a misrepresentation. But start the filing process. File an I-130.
Roseanne said, I've got a VAWA pending, and if I go, they put me on hold. Can I travel to my country with my parole? And if so, when I come back, do I have any risk of them not actually letting me in?
You have no risk of coming back. You'll be fine. Travel on your advance parole.
All right. Carol Eris Holt Burrell says, hey, Brad, I have a question. If an I-130 was denied, is it better to appeal it or start it all over?
Start it all over. Unless it's an I-130. If it's an immediate relative, you start all over. If it's an I-130 for a brother or a sister, you appeal it because you want to keep the priority date.
We've got a question from Gaza Milla TV, who said, hey, can I take along my state ID with my expired passport at my interview? Is that going to be enough?
Should be okay, as long as it's a real ID, ID from a real ID state.
All right, Sanicia says, is there a specific way to fix the package for interview? Because I'm seeing a lot of people talking about the table of contents. I'm confused. And also, can I bring my expired passport to the interview?
Yes, bring your expired passport. Bring a valid passport if you have it. The table of contents, you're not writing a book. Okay, this is what you do. You write, dear sir or madam, here is my application, whatever it is, the I-130, the I-45. I submit it with the following. 1, my birth certificate. 2, my marriage certificate. 3, my divorce decree. Whatever it is. Just list it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's no tape. You're not writing a book. Don't worry about it.
Libertary Music said, would a civil offense be a problem when applying for citizenship?
It could affect good moral character.
Oh, depending on
what it is.
Got it.
All right, Ricardo Powell says, why do they tell one side aggravated felons cannot enter into the USA in any shape or form? Other side aggravated felons can show hardship for spouse and children to enter in the USA. So the other side, they say we can also vacate an aggravated felony in court to enter the USA.
And the question is what? He wants to know what the deal is with aggravated felonies.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, if you're an aggravated felon, you can't come into America. Period. End of story. You get deported. Period. End of story. There is a waiver to allow you to re-enter America or to enter America a first time based on extreme hardship to your spouse or parent if you're an aggravated felon. You can also, however, if you are in the United States with a green card and you're an aggravated felon, you get deported. No waiver. Why is that? Because that's what Congress decided. That's what the president signed. Unless, of course, your conviction's prior to 1996 and you're an aggravated felon. April 96. Then you can get a waiver. Why? Because that was the old laws. And then Congress and the president decided to wipe away those old laws. And then somebody went to court and said, you can't wipe away those old laws. Those old laws are still laws. And the courts agreed with that person. So it's a combination of Congress, president, and courts that have come up with this crazy system. How's that?
Great.
That was a pretty thorough rundown, Brad. We've got a question from Judy N. that's actually really interesting. She says, I'm a travel nurse. Is it okay if I travel with my patient to another state for a period of 3 months, or is that going to be considered not living with my spouse?
Well, you're not living with your spouse, that's for sure. I don't know what you're trying to prove.
I'm assuming a bona fide marriage.
Yeah, well, listen, I mean, you gotta, it is what it is, but yeah, that's a problem for proving it's a bona fide marriage. It certainly doesn't help.
All right, Sandy says, I'm completing a USCIS form and I am being asked for the previously approved form, the I-485 number. Where do I find this number?
On the top right corner of your application, also on your canceled check.
Shantae said, I came to the U.S. on a J-1 visa and I got married to a U.S. citizen. Can my husband and I file our taxes jointly? And also, when I adjust my status, will I still use that same social security number that I've been using since my years as a J-1 visa holder?
Yes, you should file a joint tax return with that social security number. Yes, you will use that same social security number for the rest of your life.
All right, Sweet Spicy says, hey, Brad, I'm a retired teacher in Puerto Rico working here too. But for my pension, I filed the tax in Puerto Rico. Can I combine the tax here and the tax in Puerto Rico for the affidavit of support?
Yes.
Allie Boo Beecher said, how can I file taxes with my husband without a social security number? Could he file married separately and amend afterwards?
No, you file a joint tax return. You attach a W-7 to the joint tax return, request a tax identification number. They will send you back a letter asking for a social security number. You're at a standstill with the government at that point, but when you get your work permit, you will get a social security number, and then you can respond to that letter.
Okay, Shantae says, how long does it take for a J1 waiver to be approved? Then after approval, how long will it take for the status change after the I-130 is filed?
Over a year for the J1 waiver, over a year for an adjustment.
Hajira said, I've got a question. My parents applied for my minor siblings in December of 2016, but they still have not gotten an approval, and I'd like to know how long it's going to take. I'm from Pakistan.
It's going to take a long time, simply because it's for children over 21?
Minor siblings under 21.
And the parents are citizens?
We're not sure whether they're citizens or permanent residents.
If it's been over a year and they're citizens, then you should come see me and file a mandamus, because the government is definitely slowing down cases from Pakistan.
Okay, Naveed says, hi, I'm a green card holder, filed an I-130 for his, if a green card holder files an I-130 for his unmarried son from India back in January 2015, if his son gets married during the process and the father becomes a U.S. citizen, will his priority date change or nullify?
What happened?
So if a green card holder files an I-130 for his unmarried son back in India, back in January 2015, then the green card holder...
You get the same priority date, you move categories.
Okay.
What if son gets married?
Then he moves down, as long as the marriage happens after the father becomes a citizen, then he would move down to the F3 category, and he's going to wait a long time for a green card. But his wife will come with him.
Ann Watson said, I've been married since March of 2016. The filing date was in, I don't know if these are months and years or days and months. So I'm going to go days, months and years. March 2016, they were married, filed in March of 2017, had an interview in April. Nope. That was, yep. And had an interview in April of 2018, but have not heard anything since their interview in 2018. In April.
Either immigration forgot you, they think it's a business marriage, or they forgot you. Either way, you need to see me.
All right. And we have Gina, so sweet. My friend had a green card before, and this is his second green card. He used to go in and out of the country before just for vacation. He is now living here from March 2017 and working. He wants to know when he can file for his citizenship.
You got here since March of 2017?
Yes.
With a
and
green
he's been
card?
Working, yes, with his second green card.
And he's with his second green card?
Yeah, so he had one before. He was going in and out of the country for vacation. He got a second one. He's been living here since March 2017.
I don't know how often his out of the country was. So it depends on when he got his green card, how long his trips abroad were. I need to know a lot more.
I think he was going in and out with the first green card. So now
I still don't.
So that
I
matters.
would need to know how often the in and out was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sharon Khan, who started his comment with all of those lovely things that you already talked about, Brad.
Say it again.
Hey, Brad, your show's great, and you guys are funny as hell. Have you all considered auditioning for movies, or maybe reality-based TV would be great? We're ready. His question is, I've got an AOS interview in October. I had one in October of last year, and I applied for it in January. The interview was tough, but we got all the questions answered well, except for a few. My question is, how long is it going to take for me to get a green card? I'm married to a U.S. citizen.
And when did this?
Adjustment of status interview happened in October, originally filed in January.
And they still haven't heard anything?
I have not heard anything since October.
We got to get a magic 8-ball here.
Uh-oh.
How would I know? You went for an interview. It's either they think it's a business marriage, your fingerprints didn't clear, or they forgot about you. One of those three. I don't know because I didn't handle it. But after 4 or 5 months, if you haven't heard from immigration, you need to come to a good lawyer like myself so we can figure out what the problem is and fix it. But I don't know what the problem is. It's one of those three, though.
All right, Ricardo has the question. If my wife filed to adjust my status, but I don't receive my work permit, can my wife file for me when she's doing her taxes? How does this work? Explain, please. King Brad.
Ooh!
She wants to know what about taxes?
First of all, you're King Brad.
Okay, thank you.
King Brad, that's really all that needed to sink in.
I only heard King Brad. That's about the only words I heard.
So if my wife filed for me the adjustment of status, but I didn't receive my work permit, can my wife file me when she's doing her taxes? And how does that work?
Well, you should file for your work permit because you need to get a Social Security number. But again, file a W-7 on the joint tax return, get a tax ID number, apply for your work permit even if you're not planning on working so you can get a social, so you don't have these problems.
We've got another question from Kenny who said, hey Brad, I want to fill out my I-130 for my minor child aged 11. What are the initial required pieces of evidence that go along with the petition, and about how long is it going to take to approve?
Well, assuming you were married to the mother, a copy of the marriage certificate and a copy of the child's birth certificate to show you the father, and proof that you're a resident or a citizen. If you are not married to the mother, in addition to all of that, you would need to show that you have a bona fide parent-child relationship, that you support the child, you have pictures with the child, you're in the child's life. So it depends what your situation is with the mother.
All right, Christina Edwards is asking, can a person awaiting a 1485 interview, I think that's I-485, right? I-485 interview married to a U.S. citizen start filing for their mom who is married, or do you have to wait till your case is approved?
You have to wait until not only your case is approved, but you're a citizen.
Sharam Khan gave us a little bit of follow-up for our last question. Since my interview was tough, there were a few questions that me and my wife answered differently, but he grilled me for an hour while he talked to my American wife for just 15 minutes. Our marriage is totally legit and bona fide, but now I'm really wondering, do you think that there could have been something wrong given that our interviews lasted such a huge amount of time?
I don't know, I wasn't there, but certainly they don't believe it's a good marriage, but you say it's good, but ultimately you'll approve it. They'll approve it, and you'll prove it to them that it's real. But I don't know why.
Hey, well, there we go.
So, you had an opportunity, Belgium Kim, I see here.
Yes.
I didn't meet her. Swarali Karulkar.
Karulkar,
Am I pronouncing her name right?
Yeah, Swarali Karulkar.
Yeah, she danced her way to stardom in India, Belgium Kim. This is what you tell me here, right?
Uh-huh.
After competing and working on Dance India dance competition show in Asia and choreographing several Bollywood films. Today, 5 years after immigrating to the United States, she's a dance therapist and the founder of Bollyheels and Bolly Pop here in New York City. So Kim went out to meet with her, dance with her, and find out what is all this about dance therapy.
Hey Brad Squad, I am in the studio today learning some brand new dance moves from my girl, Swara. She got her start on Asia's biggest dance reality show, Dance India Dance, and since then, she has danced all over the world and choreographed some of the top Bollywood films out of India. We are gonna talk to her today all about her immigration journey, and she's gonna teach me some super fly moves to make me look super fly. Let's start at the beginning. When did you start dancing?
I started formally training at the age of 6, and the reason I started dancing was because my mother really wanted to dance growing up, and she just didn't have the financial means to, so she's like, okay, well, this is what I'm gonna do with my daughters, like vicariously live through them. But eventually I knew that this is just what I was gonna do. Like no matter what I land up doing in life, it's gonna be related to dance. Like I just couldn't separate it.
You fall in love with dance. Mm-hmm. When do you decide to audition for the biggest dance reality show in Asia?
So I was constantly on TV competing, and Dance India Dance was a huge hit when it came. It provided a different way to look at dancers, because before Dance India Dance, everybody was like, dance is a hobby. It's not really going anywhere. My parents were very supportive, and they were like, dance can be a career. So when DID came, or Dance India Dance came, that was like a big deal. And then Just Dance happened, which was another huge show in India. It was actually a global show. So they auditioned in 5 different countries, USA being one of them. And I made it to the top 7 of the show. So I had already, by that time, established my name in the dance circuit. And I had started working for DID as an assistant choreographer on other seasons. So when I was approached to audition for DID 4, I was already working on another DID season. So I was kind of in this conundrum because I was getting paid and I needed employment. But on the other hand, I was like, if I had let that pass, it would have been a regret. I was injured at the time, but got through.
You were really taking off. You had been choreographing for Bollywood movies. What in the world made you move to the United States?
The Indian culture, you pretty much like grow up with your parents, you get married, and then you live with your husband. Those things are changing. That's how it was when I was growing up, because I grew up in a very traditional middle class family, so we were raised at certain values. I was like, no, I have to be independent and I need to have my own life. That was always on the agenda, that at some point I'm gonna move to New York. But I think it solidified when I decided to do dance therapy. I started doing research and I found that at the time, only 6 schools in the entire USA that offer a master's in dance therapy. And one of them was in New York. It was in Brooklyn, Pratt Institute, and I was like, I wanna go there. My second option was Chicago. I didn't get through. I was kind of disappointed, but I interviewed with my teacher and she liked me, and that's how I moved to New York for that very purpose, to get my master's in dance therapy.
Did you experience any culture shock when you actually moved here?
When I moved to New York, there's a lot of things that I didn't know. The first couple of months were horrible, and it required a lot of adjustment. I'm not gonna lie. Eventually, I got a hang of the city and I started enjoying the independence, and it went more from being lonely to being, okay, I'm an adult now. I moved on August 11, 2014.
So you moved in 2014 during a really politically fraught time. Things were really starting to heat up. The Trump campaign started to go into full force. Did that change anything in your perception of what America was?
The world has a certain image of the US, that it's free, it's inviting, people from all colors, races, sexes can exist, and to some extent it's true. But there are huge pockets of the US where it's absolutely not true. And I had horrible experiences around the presidency itself. The day Trump got elected, I remember walking down the street and this guy, he tried to follow me, get close. A block away, he yelled across the block saying, marry me, I'll make you American. I did not feel as much of an outsider as much as I did that day, not even on my first day. You've just seen the color of my skin and now you're just starting to make these assumptions. So around the presidency, definitely a lot of things changed and a lot of weird stuff happened, but at the same time, I think it then motivated me to fight back.
I'm assuming that you took those experiences and worked them into your art. How did you do that?
In that particular situation that I was in when this guy yelled out to me was the fact that he had more control on my body than I did. That is what I was trying to get back at, that I wanted more ownership on my body and my identity. I started exploring it in movement and in my classes, and I was like, I need to find a way that combines my passion for the Indian culture, that provides community, that provides support, that provides being for each other, with the independence that the American culture provides. And that's how I came up with the idea of Bollyheels, because it involves Bollywood and taking the confidence that heels brings to you. The moment you wear heels, you want to do your hair, you want to put makeup on, it brings a certain amount of feeling in you. So I wanted to take those two things and combine it and create a dance class format fused with my dance therapy. Now we call it the Swara dance movement.
What is dance therapy?
The dance therapy in the simplest form is the psychotherapeutic use of movement. What we do is you use your body as a language versus using words. So that's the most organic form of communication that has ever existed in humankind. We study your movement and your body language, which gives us information to what might be going on at the moment, how you might be feeling.
Now, you used to work with children on the autism spectrum.
Yes.
Tell me how you use dance therapy to help children on the autism spectrum.
So if you've met people on the autistic spectrum, most of them have very few words. All they have is movement. So for example, if you see a kid and he's angry and anxious, and all he can do is hit his head, and he keeps doing that, and if you just keep saying stop, it's not the solution. So now what we do is we take this movement and then we find ways to how you can channel it and make it different, that it is a little more acceptable and productive and more creative. That's what we do. We communicate with them in movement. Like, we understand why they're doing what they're doing. So this is causing anxiety. This is relieving anxiety.
Right.
The goal of relieving anxiety is still achieved, but the movement is not self-harming. You, me, people watching, everybody can benefit from dance therapy. We use it every day, whether we know it or not. I feel like if dance therapy wasn't in my life, I would have probably left New York and went back to India.
When did you officially start Bollyheels, giving classes, touring with it, and what has the response been?
So we started Bollyheels in May of 2017. Our first class was in New York, and we just did a class, see what happens. And then we did another class, and the response was great. And then we did the third class, and we had gone from 20 people to 3 people. And then eventually we were like, we were about to go to LA, and we were like, let's do the class in LA. And slowly it started picking up. So in just 18 months, we landed up doing 70 workshops in 11 different cities in the US. We went to Toronto, we did a workshop there. We went to Australia, we did 5 cities in Australia. We went to New Zealand, we did a workshop in New Zealand. Now I'm going to India. I'm visiting 7 cities, and I'm doing 4 workshops in each city. So 28 workshops altogether
in 10 days
in India, in 10 days. I'm so excited because, I was born and raised in India. A huge part of everything that I do reflects back on all of my upbringing. And now that I've come out and seen the world and learned something about it, I want to bring it back home. I have this moment here to live my life and be who I am and just enjoy dance for what it is. In San Francisco, this woman, she came up to me and she told me how after her second pregnancy, she did not really feel like there's much, like she didn't feel pretty. She felt like, she was just taking care of the kid. She had become a mother. So she came to this class and she's like, I feel great. I feel like me again. Like, I feel like I can do this. No matter how many students we get, we need to just keep doing it.
What is your immigration story?
My parents had to literally scrape things together. I myself started working at the age of 10, and I've been saving all my life to make this happen. This is for F1 student visa. Even though I was the highest ranker in my college, they don't qualify in the US, so you need to change your scores in the GPA system. The other thing I had to do was a TOEFL exam, which is an English speaking exam, which to me is ridiculous because USA is not the only colony that British had. India was one of them too. So guys, we learned English. I grew up speaking English. My point is, just for you to step into the US, there's all this extra money that you have to pay. Dance therapy is not as big as engineering or doctor.
Right.
So I didn't get any scholarship. When I was in school, and I kid you not, I worked 8 jobs. I worked 4 or 5 jobs on campus. I worked 3 random jobs that my friends gave me off campus. I was performing with Mystic India, so I was touring at the time, got my degree. Finally, I transitioned from my F1 visa to EAD.
Okay.
And on my EAD, I was allowed to work, but then again, your EAD is only applicable for 1 year. And by then, I had already established a life in New York. I was already dating Nico at the time, who is my husband now, very seriously involved, and the only other option that I had was O1 visa, which is an extraordinary talent visa. And then that visa you only get for 3 years. My husband then was very supportive, and we decided I think the best way to move forward is for us to be married. So rather than doing it, waiting for 5 years down the line, it's better if we do it right now. Once you get married, you get a PR resident card.
Right.
And then, so now I have that. So now after 3 years again, I have to invest X amount of money, give an interview and stuff like that, and then decide if I want to become a citizen or if I want dual citizenship, I want to go back or whatever I want to do. So it's an extensive process, but it's possible.
Where do you see Bollyheels / the Swara dance movement in 5 or 10 years?
Our goal in 5 or 10 years is to be able to travel to as many countries as possible, introducing our concept. That's just what we want to do, and we want to spread this message as fiercely as we can throughout the world.
What is your American dream?
My American dream will be to embrace this diversity and find ways to unify within the diversity with the medium of movement.
All right, Swara. I think it's time for some moves.
Yes, let's do this.
I'm in no way stretched out. Is that okay?
That's okay.
Fantastic.
We'll make it work.
We're gonna make it work. That's right.
And now all you're gonna do is like lift your hip and drop once, twice, 3 times.
Oh, yes.
And 4. Booty out. There we go. That's
no problem.
it.
Okay,
That's
here we go.
So one more time. Let's just try the legs. You go drop, 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 boom, boom. Perfect. Call.
Ooh, like a siren. I got you.
Yes.
I got
5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh. In. Yeah. Boom. Call and boom. Right hand. You're like, yes. Thank you for watching me dance. Oh, I'll welcome you.
I get it. Like I get power that comes with this, and that comes with feeling your body and being very aware of your body. Yeah. Thank you so much for showing me some moves, sharing so much of what you've been through. That was an absolutely fantastic insight. Brad Squad, to follow more of Swara, make sure to follow her at Swara Dance. And if she's coming to a city near you, make sure to check out a Bollyheels class, because this chick is gonna leave you feeling empowered. Until next time, Brad Squad, thanks.
Liking the moves, Kim. I'm liking those moves.
Anytime you want to send me out there.
I like those hips. Don't lie, Kim.
No, they do not, Brad. There's a lot to bop up and down.
Hips are not lying.
A lot of stuff bopping up and down.
A lot of stuff not lying there.
So much bopping.
A lot of stuff not lying there.
Bopping and bopping.
Brad, like I just told you, if one part of me dances, the whole part of me dances, okay? It's just how the whole body works.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we come to that time of the evening where we review everybody's comments of the day.
All right, for our first comment of the day, we have one from Don Harriet. Says, Sam, you light up the show. Grinny face.
All right, very nice.
Groundhog Sam getting some love.
Getting a little love today,
like
Sam.
that.
Doesn't get a lot of love sometimes.
Yeah, gotta appreciate him.
Yeah, I know, right? We don't shout Sam out enough.
I love Sam.
Who doesn't? Carol Aris Hope Burrell said, I just love the news segment. Always so informative. So true.
Yes.
That's so true. We're very informative.
Right, the hard and the soft news, right?
Hard and soft. We come at you
She
with
likes
all
it hard, she likes it soft.
And you're going to get it both ways, whether you want to or not.
All right, we have one from XO Cabela XO. Hi, Brad, Kim, and Yo-Yo. Brad, you are the best of all. Can't wait to meet you to do my business.
Yes.
I don't know what the business is, but I better be looking good that day.
You better be looking good.
I better
Warn
be
them
looking good
before
that
you come.
day, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a zaddy Brad
That's
day.
right.
We've got one from Kajelia McKenzie, the question asker herself, who said, Brad, the principal, the professor, the doctor of immigration.
All right.
That's a good one.
I like that.
That's a triple.
A triple crown there.
Triple crown.
Yeah. All right. And we have one from Carol, the Top Cat Tigress. This show is a must watch. It's positive energy and vibes and stress-free. Love you all, Brad team.
All
Yes.
right. I like that.
Man.
Awesome.
That's
I love
amazing.
it.
We have any more?
That's all we got,
it,
Brad.
baby.
That's it.
That's
we
it.
end with good vibes from Carol,
Yes.
the top cat tigress.
Yes.
We'll see you all tomorrow's hump day. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
What are you doing?